welcome to Shooting the Soil. Alright, today we have a newly amended soil, potting soil that I'm using indoor. And right when we started looking at the slide, we found this weird spiky thing. Hi Lilu, yeah, okay, 1 second. After the stream. Alright, so what the heck is this thing? I mean, it's not a nematode, it's not moving. It's just a weird looking thing. But look at all the bacteria moving around in here. All sorts of bacteria. So I did treat this newly amended soil with a biocomplete compost extract. That was done probably about 3 weeks ago, I would say. And so far it's just been sitting. Planted a couple of I planted some marigolds in there and some dichondria, and we're just getting it ready and seeing how it looks before we plant the rest of our plants in there. And definitely a lot of bacteria in there. A lot of little things just bumbling around. Some good aggregates. We added some micronutrients, some oyster shell. We used, for our potting soil, we used, Fox Farm. We used half of their Ocean Grow and half of their frog, Happy Frog mix. That was a big old aggregate. Look how cool that looks. It's starting to get eaten. We see a little bit of that, brown, kind of bronzish gold color in there. So, whatever that is, it's being slowly broken down. Alright, what do we got here? Nice little fungal strand, but what's this guy? Huh. That's interesting. Uniform cell walls. Looks like we got a hyphae. Where's my mouse? There it is. Looks like there's a hyphae right there. So, very clear, but doesn't appear to be an omycete. Kind of widens there at the end. Yeah, see, there's a nice fungi. Color you want to see, nice hyphae, nice little strand. This other clear one over here, we're not too sure about, but it could just be a young one. And that's why it's so clear. But it's pretty uniform. Let's take a look at this other edge here. Yeah, I would say it's beneficial. Could not be, but it's not looking like an omycete or anything. Just seeing a fast-moving bacteria. I thought it might be a flagellate. Yeah, whatever that is. Maybe it's a baby flagellate. It's not as big as most that I've seen, but it was moving pretty fast. Alright, let's look around a little bit more. We're in at 400x right now, so. Yeah, whole lot of life in there. But wish we saw a little bit more fungi, but soil is brand new. But a lot of good aggregates. Look at that. That might be aggregated plant matter. This is aggregated minerals. What's this over here? That's interesting looking. Almost looks like a cyst of some sort. That's really weird looking. This black thing is just some kind of particle on top, but this kind of looks like a cyst where, you know, micro organisms create the cyst around them is basically an environment to live in until the conditions get ideal, and then they'll burst their way out of this. And that kind of looks like a cyst. That's moving around. Kind of just getting, probably just knocked around by the bacteria moving. But just in the focus, and that kind of looks like a double cell wall around the outside. Could be some sort of amoeba, but don't see a, doesn't seem to be a nematode or anything squirming around in there. Let's look around a little bit more. Whoa, what's going on over here? That's probably some sort of little flagellate moving around, bumbling, knocking all that stuff around. Oh, what's that? Stupid windows. Yeah, there he is. Or just a really fast moving bacteria. It's pretty small, but I think that's a flagellate. Probably has a tail. Wonder if we can see it. One little cilia. Yeah, mess around with the shading a little bit. Yeah, quite identify if he has a tail or not, but on the speed that he's moving, I think it's pretty safe to say that that's a flagellate. Tiny little fungal strand there. What's that strand? Looks to be just plant matter or something like that. Alright, what else we see in here? Actually, let's jump out to 100x here. Adjust our lighting a little bit. We need less light. And let's kind of just do a scan here of the slide. See if we can find a nematode or something big. Whoa. Looks like just plant matter. A couple little, looks like there might be some fungal hyphae sticking out of it, but another one of those clear ones. Hopefully that's just young fungal hyphae. Looks pretty uniform. Alright, let's try to find some critters. If there are any in here. That was a big piece of plant matter. Organic matter of some sort. Oh, did I just see something move? Nope. Alright. What can we find? Alright, we're right up at the top of the slide. Let's go this way. Oh. Alright, well. Let's investigate these long strands here. They're clear. I want to make sure they're not something bad. Hopefully just young fungal strands. Ooh, they're pretty. Now that we're in here at 400x, they're pretty wide. Oh, good hyphaes. Yeah, alright. Not looking like oomycetes or anything. I think these are just young fungal strands. Good beneficial fungi. Yeah, it doesn't change size until it splits off right here. See, we have the fork, and then it changes size. On a mice here, something would be all different width throughout the strand. So, granted, it doesn't have good color, but it's got those good segments in it. And I think it's just the very young fungal strand, which is a good sign for your soil. That's a big one, too. Wow. Look at how long this thing is. Still going. Yep, lots of good segments. All these little black marks here. What I'm talking about are the hyphae and basically the divisions in the cell walls. Oh yeah. Alright, back out to 100x. That fungi is beneficial, most likely. Alright, back to critter search. Camera a little bit more square. Wow. Looks like another one of those clear fungal hyphae, and I mean at 100x, that's a big one. Yeah, a lot of little strands. A couple more right there. Could use a little bit more. We want a 50 to 50 basically is what we're shooting for. And right now we're pretty far from it because when you zoomed in there's pretty much bacteria everywhere. So we definitely need a lot more fungi to get that 50 to 50 ratio that, from what I hear, is desired. Oh, that's weird. Alright, anytime you see something perfectly round like that, you gotta investigate. It's rare that in nature you'll find something that's perfectly round. It's usually jagged or has edges, but when it's perfectly round, it's usually living. What do we think about this? Just a uniquely perfectly round rock, or piece of mineral? Don't see anything in there, but willing to bet that's some sort of cyst with a creature living in it. Trying to find I don't know. It might just be a rare, perfectly round mineral. Although I find that pretty unlikely. Gotta be something biological in there to make it. I mean, it's not perfectly round, but that round. Alright, well, let's continue our critter search. Yeah, look with all that light, how clear it is. Alright. Focus. Be nice to find a nematode or something. Oh, that looks like a really nice fungal strand there in the color that you want to see. All those nutrients and amino acids in it. And this one's in between, not clear, but not super dark like that other one. Alright. What else do we see in here? since we moved that much manually, let's go back up. We always want to see a nematode or two. Hope we can find one. If there's any in this early succession soil here that just reamended. Alright. Let's go over this way a little bit. Come on, big micro creatures. Big micro creatures. If that's not an oxymoron, I don't know what is. But that's what we're looking for. Huh. That's just plant matter. Root hair. Let's go over this way. I like those. Kind of purplish looking fungi strands. Those are always neat. Whoa, what do we got over here? What are you? You're moving stuff all around. Is that a... Huh. Celiac? Rotifer? Let's zoom in. Quick, before we lose him. Oh, there he is. Focus. Huh. Yeah, celiac. I think he has... Whoa. What are you doing? You an acrobat? Or what? But he has all these little hairs on the outside of his body. And that's what's causing all the commotion. Oops, wrong way, wrong way. Whoa. I've never seen one quite move like this. Whoa. Alright, let's try to see if we can see all the cilia moving around him. Alright. Over here. Oh, wait, see it spinning all around? Easy on the focus. Yeah, it's just... Whoa. He is one... That is one active cilia. Yeah, the hairs are really moving too fast, but you can kind of see him right there. Just got a whole bunch of little hairs on the outside of him here. There's a cilia, and he's just spinning them around, turning all this water around with it. As he pulls bacteria inside of him, digesting it, making all that nutrients from the bacteria available for your plants. Alright, let's adjust the shade a little bit. Yeah. A little less light. There we go. Yeah. You never know what you're going to find in the soil. Yep. Oh. but that guy's just doing the work for you. Going around feeding soil. Alright, it disappeared under that aggregate there. Let's see. Huh. I want to take a closer look at whatever that is that's being broken down by the microorganisms. Alright, let's continue our scan at 100x and see if we can find something else cool. Oh yeah. Less light. There he is again. Alright, let's see, where are we? I think we need to go over this way a little bit. And let's go down. Getting pretty dense over here with aggregates and everything. A lot of clear bits and pieces. Hopefully in the months to come we'll see all that clear stuff start to be aggregated and start to turn this color and even a darker brown like some of this other stuff as it all gets broken down and made available for our plants. Alright. Whoa. Yeah. Plant matter. Not a whale. Looks to be a good fungal hyphae there that I was just checking out. We'd have to zoom in closer to be sure, but alright, and that's to that edge. Let's go back up. Just scanning for anything cool to look at. Basically anything moving. Really dense over here in this area, but I mean, a lot of good aggregates for a starting soil. Or reamended soil. Yeah, what I basically did is took my pots that have been growing plants for a while and dumped that all out, added some worm castings, added some micronutrients, added a couple bags of the Happy Frog and the Ocean Forest from Fox Farm soil, crushed up a bunch of oyster shell that I just got right out of the river out front here. They were tasty too. And yeah, we threw that in there. And what else did we put in there? Oh, and yeah, and the BioComplete compost. Put a little bit of that in there and then watered in an extract made of it. So we got high hopes. It's definitely looking better. Be nice to find a nematode. Or at least a couple more organisms moving about in here. Let's see what we can find. Yeah, one thing we found in the BioComplete compost that we purchased was a ridiculous amount of fungal spores. I think that's why we're seeing a lot of those clear, brand new fungi hyphae, and hopefully that's going to help us get to that desired 50% fungi to 50% bacteria, just kind of by average mass. Alright, that's the edge. What else do we see? Yep. Decaying plant matter. Tell it looks like a leaf with all those, you know, that sort of shape. Cell walls between everything. That's how plants grow. But you've probably seen a shot of a leaf under a microscope at some point. Maybe not since high school, but fungal hyphae looks okay. Big, fat fungal hyphae. Whoa, look at it. Just shredded on the end. Now that might be plant matter, the way it's shredded on the end. Root hair or something. Alright, well, may take a quick intermission before the next slide here. I need a slight break, and my dog's bugging me to be fed. It's actually past her feeding time. So, alright. Nope, I think that's plant matter. That's the big old root piece in there. See if we can find anything cool real quick. Oh, yeah, we were looking at that before. What's over here? Anything? More plant matter. Interesting mineral or aggregate. Well, we found a cool ciliate, but unfortunately no nematodes in this slide. Alright. Going into 400 here. Adjust the light. Let's check out this big strand here. Oh yeah. That's what we want to see. Great fungal hyphae. Yay! Go soil. Alrighty. Well, let's just go over here. Yeah. Kind of interesting spot. we're going to take a quick break, feed the dog, get our next sample on here. So in the meantime, we'll throw back on my intro here and enjoy some STS9 to the nematode we found the other day. Alright, and we're back. Alright, so we'll go over mixing up a slide here real quick. We are going to do, so we got 5 milliliters, and we got 1 milliliter soil, so that's a 1 to 5 mix ratio. Put all that water in, and we're just going to do a 30-second mix. Just nice and easy. Back and forth. This is the Elaine Ingram method. Although I have found, well, I heard from another individual that they find that nematodes sink to the bottom, or swim to the bottom, what have you. So, I'm not quite sure if I agree with letting the sample sit for 30 seconds. So I experimented this with the other day, and I took the same sample, did 1 drop after letting it sit for 30 seconds, found 0 nematodes, and then I took the sample right away and found 4 nematodes on that slide. So, I think if you want to get an accurate assessment of everything in the soil, not just the light stuff, you pretty much want to not let it settle and mix it up. Go right in and put a drop. Just my opinion, but you know, I'm kind of contradicting somebody that has way more experience than I do, but that's just what I find. But, as I grab 2 slides instead of 1, alright, just going to do a little spread, and pop. Alright. And let's take a look. Alright. Gonna start at 100 here. Get our light adjusted, wrong way. There we go. Alright. So this is from an outdoor raised bed that was newly made this year, and it's got our cherry tomatoes growing in it. And they've just started getting pretty green and taking from their rough start. But they're not growing as quickly as I would like. And hopefully you can look in here and see why that might be, or what we could add to make them do much better. Got a lot of big clear crystals in there. Didn't buy any special soil or anything like that. Just got a a topsoil mix, cheap from a local place. Amended it a little bit, but Didn't know quite as much as I do now, unless if I did, I would have added a couple more things and done a little bit better. But at the same time, we did put the same biocomplete compost extract, just one application, about the same time, like 3 weeks ago. And hopefully, even though the soil wasn't the greatest, or I did spend a whole lot of money on it, over the next couple of months to, might take till next year, or probably be even better the year after. But we're going to turn this into super soil. Hopefully. That's the idea. Or we're not going to do it. Nature's going to do it. The microbes are going to do it. We're just going to kind of give them a nudge in the right direction by adding the right stuff. And that being not necessarily bottles or nutrients amendments, but good compost with the right kind of organisms in it. And then I'll aggregate all this clear stuff, break down all this plant matter, and turn it into plant available nutrients. Alright, just kind of scanning around, see if we can find a nematode or a bacilliate or something big moving. Maybe an anthropod. That would be cool, as long as we only see one and not too many, because they're a sign of anaerobic as opposed to aerobic organisms. So if your soil's going anaerobic, that could be bad, or that's definitely going to be bad for your plants. Swamps are anaerobic. Not a big fungal hyphae. I think that's just plant matter. Yep, I think we need some more applications of compost extract in here. We're not seeing all that much fungi. A lot of clear stuff, no fungi, plant matter. Oh, there's a little segment there. Kind of want to look around a little bit more before we dive in and go investigate. A little bit more over here. Alright, yeah, we'll go into 400 and just check out these two. I just want to make sure they're not bad. Where were we? Uh-oh, we lost it. No. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there we go. Yep, I would say that's most likely good. Alright, yeah, we haven't even really checked out the bacteria down here. We got lots. It's usually not the problem. Even clay and sand have bacteria. here. Could be a little fungal spore there. I don't know. Pretty small, but it's a little football shaped. I think the need to get better at all the different types of bacteria, but I know the round ones are usually what you see. The pill ones are usually what you see, and they're usually good. I don't think you really want to see the little snake-like ones. They're when they're this tiny, like the rest of the bacteria. They're not a nematode. Way too small. I don't think they're a good bacteria, but definitely a cool-looking soil. It's kind of fun seeing all these big crystals, even though they're not great. Just big chunks of sand, silt, salt, unaggregated, not available nutrients to your plants. Until the microorganisms extract that nutrients. Yeah. Cool looking, but yuck. But look at them. They're on there. They're starting. Already see little colorations right there. Them doing their thing and starting to color that whatever type of mineral that may be. Coloring it with humic acids or different amino acids. Hopefully humic acids. I think those are the good ones. Alright. Oh. Saw that motion over there. I was hoping it was something big. But yeah, let's go back. I'm gonna go back to 100. Just try to scan around. Hopefully you'll find some cool big critters. But it's looking like we need to do some work on the soil. We need some more compost extract. And needed a little bit more biology in here. Maybe I might experiment with something like an IMO, indigenous microorganism, which is the Korean natural farming technique. But it'd be fun to play around with that. Already messed around a little bit and made a FPJ. Actually, yet to stick my FPJ under the microscope and see what's going on in there. Haven't had time. Alright, we are to the edge of the slide, but I think we gotta scroll back down to do. FPJ, by the way, is another Korean natural farming technique, which is fermented plant juice. It's done by just getting nice, healthy plants that you don't need, otherwise known as weeds, from around the property or where you may be farming, and you mix that with 50% sugar and 50% plant matter, and then you let it ferment. Microorganisms break down all those sugars, eat the plants, and you're left with a bunch of organisms that have multiplied, and also fertilizer from all the plants that they've ate. Yep. Huh. Well, at least we found one ciliate this stream. But let's take a look at what's going on here in this nice big aggregate that looks like it's all kind of held together with fungi. Is that the case? Yeah, there's a fungi. Stretching up over there, going over there. Yep. Oh yeah. Another piece here, another piece there, another piece there. That's a good sign. Holding our soil together. Glue that binds it. Yep, and having the soil all bound together, it's gonna help drought prevention, retain nutrients, so that nutrients that you pay good money for doesn't wash into our ponds and create algae blooms and bad situations so we can't swim in our ponds and rivers anymore. Instead, all the nutrients that you paid for gets held into the soil and used by your plants. When you have a complete soil food web and aggregates and microbiology in your soil working for you. That's what happens. It's not dirt. It does stuff. So you don't have to work as hard. Well, that was a pretty good, nice looking aggregate. Alright. Unfortunately, not finding any big cool life to look at. Just lots of bacteria, but there was a wild looking ciliate that we found in that other sample. Spinning all over the place. Let's take a look at this aggregate. Well, yeah, more fungi in there. Holding it together. And they're like an information superhighway of nutrients getting pumped around for your plants. Yep, another one. Yeah, like pipelines and internet lines combined. Pipe nutrients, and there's also some sort of communication going on in there that we're learning slightly more about. Another good fungal hyphae. Yeah, I mean, all in all, not too shabby. Let's bumble and moving this all around. I think it's just a little ciliate in there. not ciliate, flagellate maybe. Or it could just be the bacteria. Yep. It's bacteria just doing the thing. Throw a little bit more shading on it. Yeah, just look at all the different shapes. Yep. But assessing this soil, it's pretty early successional, I would say. Not not quite advanced, but it's on its way there. It's on its way. It's getting there, but still way more bacteria than fungi. Even though we're seeing some good aggregation, we're seeing some good fungi, but it's not quite to tomato level. It's like it's at grass and maybe some greens level, but it's not to tomato level. And we need to get it there before our tomatoes start. If we want our tomato to boom and actually grow all the way up to the trellis that I have set up for it. Because I'm trying to get the cherry tomatoes to grow on a canopy so you can just pick them from above your head. But with this soil, it's going to be hard pressed to get there. We got to do a little bit more work. We got to get some more fungi in there, get a little bit more advanced. Hopefully, start seeing some nematodes, and then I think we got a good chance. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for this stream. Thank you for joining, if you did, and if not, hopefully you're catching this on YouTube in a repeat. We'll be uploading it if you missed any part of it in the near future. So definitely check that out, and our YouTube channel, of course. And yeah, we will catch you next week on the live stream, and definitely stay tuned for more uploads on YouTube. All right, have a great one, and happy growing.